Mernizamati Jubinet.
Okay, it's 2 o'clock. I guess we can start. Dave, hey. Yes, so I started recording the session and enabled that the transcript as well. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining my session today. I hope that you enjoyed the conference so far. I'm gonna put something in the chat just to get people going. But um, today's session, this session is about from sales to support customer service lessons for IT success. And for people who know me, my name is Mernaz Ahmadi Jobane. I'm an integration engineer with AIS at Do It. And before that, I worked with Dapper. Before I came here, I was in industry and IT, but a very long time ago, I was a bank teller and in customer service and sales. So there were things that I learned from there that I thought might be useful to share. So that's what this session is about. So it's not based on much of the research that is out there or anything like that, or it might be, but this is based on the trainings that I had at TD Bank and how I expanded my learning into the IT. Anyways, so if you just joined us, let me just put the question in there as well. Again,
Text in chat.
and in chat, if you wouldn't mind, what is one word you associate with great customer service? And we're going to be talking about that. Many thanks. I see many good things: empathy, kind, listen, efficient, promptness, all of them, follow through. Yeah, respond. Yeah, I'm big on respond. Yeah, so I will try to read to keep up with the chat, but please feel free to put things in there. Hopefully, we're going to have enough time at the end to have a QA.
Introduction.
So let's see what it is that we're going to talk about. So first of all, I'm going to just give you a bit of background. And then some of the trainings that I had at TD Bank, because I was a teller in Canada at TD Canada Trust. So we went through training and all that. Excuse me. And then I took that training after I left and applied it into my career. And it helped me a lot. And I see that not just in career, but also beyond that. We're gonna also talk about the escalations, because that's a real part of our job when we do support, and some future topics. And I just should note that originally when I was going to talk about this, there were trainings that I had and also personal experience. And then it evolved and it was big and it was like, okay, a 4-hour session instead of something like 45, half an hour to 45. So I had to cut it to really based on the session training that I had. And I will leave the rest for the next time that I do a presentation on this.
Personal journey.
So let's go to the background. Okay. Before I was introduced to IT, before I was in IT, I was a customer service representative, a bank teller. And I can tell you that it didn't start all beautiful and very well. Like I do a lot of presentation. I enjoy talking to people and all that, but it's really not something that comes natural to me. So because of those trainings, a lot of other trainings that I had, it helps me interact with people. Yes, interacting with people still is stressful to me, and I try to do a good job on that. In 2004, that was the first time that I was hired as a CSR at a bank. And I remember that I didn't like it. I didn't know how to interact. I had to look people in the eye and talk, and it's, oh my goodness. So I remember that somebody yelled at me. That was the first time that a customer actually yelled. And nobody yelled at me before that. I was a spoiled kid, and I I didn't know what to do. And I cried all the way home. Long story short, a year after that, I quit my job, and I was at school and all that. But later in 2009, after realizing that, yeah, I still have to, pay bills and feed myself and family and all that, I went back to another bank, which was TD. And I started basically the same thing over there. Now, it was different this time. They actually trained us, and their tolerance was a lot higher than that. But I can tell you for the first quarter of the year, I had zero sales. And that's a big deal in a bank because everybody has a goal to meet. We had to sell and things like that. But that was because I was very much focused on selling. Okay, my goodness, I haven't sold anything. I'm not gonna meet my goals. But then, I um, I did a bit more digging into the training. Uh, I read books. I looked into some psychology books, and I realized, okay, as long as I'm really focused on selling what I think, I'm not gonna get anywhere. I have to switch my focus into what the client wants and go from there. And that switch really helped me with that. So by the end of that fiscal year, I tripled my goal and I won the customer service championship. I had a dinner with VP because of that. That was really good. So I liked it. But anyways, so it was all through learning. It wasn't something that I was born with. I wasn't really good at it. I was just trying to learn and then focus on the strengths of it. And then, I mean, 2 years later, I had to quit my job and went back to school for programming because I couldn't afford doing the customer service job with 2 kids now. So, anyways, but from there, whatever I learned, I built on it and brought it with me to wherever I worked. So it wasn't all waste. It actually helped.
TD Bank Toolset.
All right. So let's take a look at some of the things that they taught us, and it was like a lot of training, but these are the things that I remember. So there were some principles that we had to follow. One of them was address the client needs first. So we had to see what the client that came to us wants first. Okay, they wanted to pay a bill. Okay, just take care of that first. Don't try to sell them anything. Understand what they're here for and make them comfortable, so welcoming. We have to, welcome them. Thank you very much. All those nice things. And then we all had limits. I mean, they're not going to tell you, but if you go to the bank in person, the person that is in front of you, they're not able to do everything for you. There are limits that they have, okay? But we all have limits as well. So we had to focus on can versus can't. That means we had to tell them, okay, what I can do for you, and we had to start with that. What I can do for you, I can take this check, for example, and put it in the account, but and at the same time, it will be available in, I don't know, 4 days, in whenever it clears, something like that. Instead of saying, I can't clear the check for you right away, says, okay, I can put that in the account and it will be available to you in a week or something like that. So we had to focus on can versus can't. Profile early. Okay, so because we were, it was a bank, financial institution. We had to make money for the institution, for them to keep us, basically. So we had to profile them, learn about them. So look through all the assets that they have, how the context of this client looks like, and then so that we see any potential for any recommendation to them while we are still focusing on those. Clients should only tell their story once. This one I learned at the call center, because I wasn't just a bank teller and then I moved into sales, into call center. They said, okay, if the client comes to you and tells their story and you can't help them, they have to go to someone else. They should not tell their story, have to tell their story again. So this was an important principle for us. When we transferred the client over to the next person, we accompanied them and we told the story to the next person. We also always documented everything that they told us and what we did and all that. So very similar to what we do in IT, really. Okay, so what were recommendations? So the recommendations had to be one of these. It either saves them money, time, it saves them money, it makes them money, it is convenient, or peace of mind. And there was one more that I couldn't remember. But the main ones were these. So anything we wanted to recommend to the client, it had to be one of these items. If it didn't meet these, I mean, we were wasting their time and our time and the company's money. So this was what we were trained on, and then we went off to the branch. Now, any questions? I don't see any questions, but if you feel like you need any question, have any questions, please share it in the chat. So how did I apply it over into IT? And I can't see people. I don't know if anybody has any hands on. Okay, I don't see anybody having questions, so I keep going.
Application into IT.
All right, so address client needs first. Still doing the same thing. Okay, when somebody comes to me, I first want to know what it is that that led them to come here. There's an issue. So the same idea here. Focus on can versus can't. I understand that I have limitations. I can't do everything, but there are things that I can, and I should start with that. Hey, I can do this, and then ask them for more or refer them somewhere else. Profile early, still the same thing. You want to understand them. And again, I'm going to expand on each of these items in the following slides. Clients should only tell their story once, and I believe in that. And I try to have this applied here as much as possible. And then recommendation to the client. So here at the university, we're really part of the same organization, but I do still try to look at these. Okay, can we save time? Like take the client time or the organization money, save money to the organization, make money. I mean, make money doesn't apply here much. I used it when I was in industry as an IT professional. I did propose something that help them with that. Is a convenience to them, peace of mind, and things like that. So the same concepts I found that are also relatable here.
Address client needs first.
Now, let's go through them one by one. And I hope it's not too boring, but if it is, then text me, hey, it's getting boring. Okay, so address clients' needs first. Switch focus from sales to client's need. Okay, so, or whatever that is in our head, even from support to what they need. What are they coming to us for? Listen without presumption. Don't have assumptions that, okay, that is the issue, or let them talk. Let them tell you their story. You can ask clear questions to encourage them to talk, okay? And also, if they email you, please read the entire email from top to bottom. I think all of us have contacted some organization and we realized they didn't read our entire email. That can be frustrating. We want to really build a trust with the client so that they trust us with what they came to us to ask. All right. Answer their questions. So they have questions usually. Try to answer that. If you don't know the answer, you can go get more time, but always get back to them. Don't keep them lingering. Just keep them up to date. Hey, I'm gonna put you on hold while I'm investing, or hey, this might take longer. I will get back to you. If it took much longer, get back to them and say, hey, I haven't forgotten about you. It's just taking longer. Anyways, address their need first. Focus on can versus can't. Okay, acknowledge what you can do. Start with can, even if it's a small task. For example, like somebody got to me by mistake, like I don't do this. It's okay. I can look for to see if anybody knows who could contact for this or something, even this small. And you can tell them our department doesn't deal with that. I mean, in a nicer way, of course. So still acknowledge what you can't if necessary. Be positive, be compassionate, but if there is something that you can't do, admit it. It's not gonna help you if you tell somebody that you can do it, which is out of your scope or out of your reach. But focus on can. So what you can first, and then there are things that you might not be able to do.
Profile early.
Profile early, the same thing. Learn about your client, their department, the context around the scenario matters. It helps you understand what problem are you trying to solve, in which context. Learn about their place on the IT spectrum so that you understand what language to use to communicate with them. You want, again, that trusting is very important. If they can't trust you, they're not gonna let you do your job. And it's okay to use AI safely to understand the context and understand really where they're coming from and things like that. So the same thing. Clients should only tell their story once. Okay. Let them tell you their story. Again, coming back to this. Try to talk less and listen more. Let them talk more. Okay? And take notes, document stuff, confirm your understanding of their scenario. If after like you gathered your notes, make sure that you're on the same page, you understood things correctly. And trust and verify. Trust what they're telling you, but also uh, don't necessarily, might not necessarily be the entire story. You need to verify that to see if, okay, what you still need to investigate further and find more. Document, document, document. This is important. We do have, it's good that we have like the tools here where we can document easily everything that we gather from the client. So that's good. Yeah, perceived problem versus actual problems in IT. I agree with that. So exactly. So that's why we listen, we verify, we investigate everything, we document and things like that. And we figure out the problem as much as we can. They might tell you a story, but then the rest of the story might be buried something else that you have to dig out. I think we all are familiar with that. So trust and verify. Um, so, but it goes back to going back to clients should only tell their story once. Okay, so document everything properly. If you, especially if you are passing the client over to a different department, escalating the issue, or anything like that. So the next person knows what's going on. So they don't, the client doesn't have to start all over again on any, on telling them their story again and again and again. It can be a bit odd and I don't know, like, okay, can you go back and read? Why are you asking me again? I already told you that, or told your peers about this. So that's important.
Recommendations to the client.
Recommendations to the client. So while profiling and looking at the issue and stuff, yes, they come to you with a question, with an issue, but there might be a broader solution that can help them, and help us, like around the same issue usually, that can, for example, save them time. Okay, so you're doing this manually. Have you thought about using this? It's gonna save you time. Saving money. Okay, so you're running this for 4 hours. You know, if you run it this way, it might take you 5 minutes, or I mean, something more realistic maybe, but still. Peace of mind. Okay, what if you automate that and don't have to think about it? And convenience. Okay, just, I mean, it goes hand in hand with that. But really, so profiling, documenting, understanding the issue, all of them helps you with recommending them something. So again, these are things that I still use. I'm not saying that you do have to use them, but these are the tools that I use that help me in IT as well. It at least gives me a good starting point. But you can add to this list. I'm sure that there are more things, because these are, I just brought them with me from a financial institution. We are an education, higher ed, so it might be different.
In chat.
Okay, so me talking is just can be a bit boring. What tips do you use for awkward situation? Okay, so we know that it's not all, it doesn't always everything go based on what we expect it to go. There are awkward situations, things that go wrong, we make a mistake, or we said we can solve something, but we can't, and things like that. So what tips do you use for awkward situations? And let's give you a minute for people to think about it and share your thoughts in the chat. Let me see. Okay, I put the question in the chat as well. Yes, embrace what happened, acknowledge it, 100%. Nothing better for me than just naming the problem. That's a good one. Yeah. Act calm, even if I'm confused or frustrated. Yes, yes. And really, self-care also matters in these um, situations. Like take a deep breath before freaking out. Empathy, yeah. Accepting that mistakes are lessons learned and paths to growth. Yes, yes. I'm sure that all of us have made mistakes, but mistakes are mistakes if you don't learn from them. That I heard that from somewhere, it's not mine. So try to have a solution or at least a path to one if you know something went wrong. Yeah. And that goes with learning really. It's not uncommon for support issue to be due to user error. When it becomes apparent that might be in play, finding ways to generalize the solution and share the proper action the user should take without calling out they are simply doing something incorrectly, it still helps them, but doesn't shame them. Yes, yeah, exactly, Jeff. No shaming. I like that. Yeah, these are like, all of them are good ideas. A smile calms most situations down to level where two people can work together. Oh, that's beautifully said. Thank you. Okay, so just keep that going. Yes, so one of the things that helped me, and um, I go back to the days that I was a bank teller. It was um, um, building an environment of support. Like there is an ecosystem that you're part of, and building allyship and a strong relationship between your team helps. That's what helped me. Which, I mean, it wasn't part of the training, so I don't have a slide about it. But really, in any situation, I realized that having strong team that can support you, like relationship with your team, can help. All right. Okay.
Escalations.
So these are some of the points that about escalations, and there is a lot more. But just to get the conversation going. Okay, admit mistakes. We saw that somebody put in the chat. I think Vanessa was that. I can't remember. Admit it. Okay, so if a mistake is happens, which it happens all the time, we are all humans, and really clients don't like expect perfections, perfectionism. They know that mistakes happen. They just want us to own it and do something about it. So acknowledge the mistake that happened. You can apologize about it, and then get help. So again, going back to that ecosystem, we're part of the bigger team. We can help each other. There are things that we need help with. And at that point, like we have to throw the ego out and then coming and then going and asking for help. There's also like, yes, on the other side, if somebody comes to you to help them, if you're able to do that, please do so, right? Like for example, if I always go to if my child makes a mistake and acknowledges that, I help them clean things up. So the same thing here. All right. And also always in any area that you are, know your legal boundaries. This is very important, and you want to make sure that you're aware of that. And really, any boundaries that you have, there is a scope that we're working in, and yeah, we are going the extra mile for the client. We are doing all these wonderful things for the client, but there are limits that we shouldn't cross. There are departments here that deal with that. We need to get help from them and things like that. So, but be aware of those limitations that you have. Be professional and respectful. This is always for any scenario, any reason, any context. Communicate clearly during escalation. Okay. Communicate that I think this is just it is in the title itself. Make sure that they know that you're still trying to help them. Don't leave them not knowing what's happening. So communicate with them. Also communicate with whoever you're asking help with. Okay, this is the scenario. This is what I tried and didn't help. Can you help me with this? If you're asking help, or if you're asking the client for more information, then do that. Usually involving the client in the process helps you. They trust you more. So try to involve them. Acknowledge the client's experience. Okay, if they're frustrated, it's a valid emotion. If they are freaking out, okay, if you acknowledge that, then you can go from there to comfort them or something. They want to make sure that you care about their scenario. And there is a lot more, which I'm not going to get into at this point. So the training was one thing, and I'm using it, but there is a lot beyond that, which I was hoping to put into this presentation, but there is a lot more, so I had to make sure that I'm purposeful, not wasting people time and not frustrate people. Acknowledge. All right, so I have a list of them here. Build principled trust, power of allyship and community. These are things that I had to learn like through experience. Focus on solution instead of blame. I think somebody just mentioned that. Jeff mentioned that. Resiliency. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Support is tough. We should be able to get back and go from there. Be approachable. This alone got me a lot of clients, and maybe that's why I was able to triple my goal when I was a bank teller. One of the things that I used to tell whoever I trained in that branch was, as soon as somebody comes from any of the doors of the branch, look at them and smile. So I did that, and people, even though I was the only non-English speaker, like people would come and line up to talk to me just because I smiled at them. It was really interesting. But anyway, be approachable. Sales is the highest level of customer service. I know this is not much related to what we do, but if you are selling an idea, it's really trying to take care of the client. It could be your organization, it could be your manager, or whoever that you're trying to convince. So self-care is very important, and there is more. So each of these can have its own session, but I thought they are honorable mentions here, so that we know it's not just the training that builds customer service, it's also field work.
Takeaways.
All right. Take the power of, okay, so some of the points that I wanted to make for you to take away from this is the power of perspective, focus on client. This is very important. It's gonna help you in long run. Either get to know them, get to spend time understanding what they say, listen to their story, make them feel that they're heard, and keep them involved in the process. Collaboration is key. Client, peer, and ecosystem. You want the client to be involved in the process. Your peers, have a good relationship with everyone. Everyone has a bad day. Just don't take that personally. And ecosystem, like everyone else, like expand your connections with people, like your ecosystem. Have a good relationship with people. Customer service is universal. This is something that I took away is, okay, the general rule are the same thing. Even though it was sales in financial institution, and here is IT, I'm supporting things in IT, or it might be something else for you. You might be helping students with something. Customer support is universal. Everyone want to be taken seriously. When I come to somebody with an issue, I want them to take me seriously, but also take ownership over what I'm bringing, so that they can also help me with that and make my life much, much easier. Now, any questions so far? I'm just rushing.
In chat.
Go next. So, from the things that I just had, what would you like to learn about next? And this is just to see what the interest is here more. Because I just presented a toolkit, but it's not the entire story. I couldn't expand on everything that I wanted. This was a light presentation, not much deep. I didn't have any workshop type of thing, which I wanted to do. But also, I just wanted to make sure that I start with something and see where the interest is. Escalations, yeah, that's good. All right. And I mean, this is a good time to go into Q&A. I would like to thank everyone who came to this session. I hope it was useful. I hope that you took something away that can help you for future, from someone who is not born as a customer service person, but had to learn. And I would love to share. And yeah, so any questions? Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Murnaz, for this wonderful presentation and chat that you've given us. If there are any questions, feel free to either throw them in chat, or if you're here in person, wave and I'll bring the mic to you. Crickets are loud.
No, it's fine. I mean, there is also, it is like in the afternoon. There are other wonderful sessions that are going on. So I hope that you get the chance to go to them or watch them also online. All of them are recorded, right, Dave? Or
pretty much all of them are recorded and will be available on the ITLC website as soon as we get them all wrapped up.
Okay, sounds good. I appreciate everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, and I wish you a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.